The management team of the Nigeria's Securities and Exchange Commission will be in Lagos next week to interact with retail investors on the new electronic form of cash dividend payments and the move to phase out physical share certificates. It's called dematerialization. The roadshow and town hall meetings will focus on some of the challenges investors in this jurisdiction face in the online registration for the e-dividend service that was inaugurated recently by the Central Bank and the Interbank Settlement Service. Retail investors have complained that the new initiative designed to resolve some of the issues in the market has been constrained by banks and registrars. I'm now being joined from our Abuja studios by the Director in charge of External Relations at the SEC, Abdul Zubair. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for being here with us on the program. Okay. Now, how much of what we already know about e-dividend is the SEC being able to pass on to retail investors who need this?
I can't hear.
I'm afraid we have a little bit of audio problem there connecting with Abdul Zubair at the Abuja studios. Okay, let's move on very quickly. We'll try to work that out within the next few minutes. Let's get back to one interesting story from northern Nigeria. The city of Kano, ancient city of Kano, has been called, and other towns were once the center for art and craft, but things have since changed since those days for leather, textiles, and other exports. Let's watch this report.
Abandoned warehouses and railway tracks overgrown with weeds are pretty much all that's left of a once bustling manufacturing industry in the biggest city in Nigeria, Kano. Only a few factories remain. Those with the political clout to play the game have been growing, but as their profits were no longer performance-based, the market became distorted and the price of raw materials, mainly skins, skyrocketed artificially. Businessmen see little room to expand, with chronic power and water shortages would have crippled manufacturing for years.
Our difficulties are normally on the government policies. You know, like the incentives they give to all exporters has been suspended, and it's creating a lot of problem to all exporters. You know, we are looking at how that can be solved, because it affects our capacity to employ more people, and also to increase our production, because the initial reason why the incentive was put in place was to expand our export.
Locals in Kano say they hope cross-border trade will make a comeback, but traders face a new challenge apart from Boko Haram suicide bombers and the lack of dollars. Firms struggle to get dollars to import raw materials and have been laying off staff.
The raw material is here. We don't go out to buy it. They're making it here, therefore they don't have markets, and that's a challenge. There is no market.
The central bank will make up to 300 billion naira available for long-term loans to stimulate the non-oil sector, including tanneries, at a low interest rate of maximum 9%. Authorities hope this will help the leather industry, which still exports coveted sheep and goat skins to Europe to make designer bags and shoes. But even that industry has been suffering. From over 30 firms 10 years ago, only about 8 still operate.
What we need is working capital. A lot of companies are looking for working capital. At that single-digit interest rate, but it's not easy to get it. Because the government, like Bank of Industry, will say, okay, we'll give you money to buy machineries at 9%, but you have to go to the commercial bank and take loan at 26% or more. So it's a killer. And we need long-term, manufacturing need long-term funding.
As Nigeria seeks to diversify its economy, there may not be any better time than now to revive the Kano leather industry.
From the business of leather to the business, back to the business of stocks and shares and e-dividend. Let's return to our Abuja studios. We've sorted out the audio quality now, audio connection. The Director of External Relations at the SEC, Abdul Zubair. Thank you very much. I'm sure you can hear me now.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for your platform. I can hear you.
Thank you very much. So we got about 2 minutes to wrap this up very quickly. In In short, what's been the SEC's findings about how the e-dividend platform registration is going? There are complaints from investors that they're having problems with the banks and the registrars. Is that true?
Let me start by saying the e-dividend platform is an initiative that is meant to create awareness to investors. And this is the start of a new season, and we expect everybody to queue in and adjust to the new season. And naturally, you expect some challenges here and there. So it is not out of place that we're finding some challenges from one or few banks that we are collaborating with.
What will you be doing in Lagos next week with the whole team?
It's a continuation of what we had in Abuja. It's a road show, and it's to continue to create awareness on the electronic platform and other initiatives of the Commission. And we expect that everybody will queue in and join us, because it's a joint project. It's a project for all of us. And we expect everybody to queue in, and we want everybody to be the ambassador for this project. It is designed for the investors, and it is going to be benefits to all investors. And we expect everybody to key in.
How problematic is the issue of e-dividend from the regime or the era where we're coming from? Take us through that for a few seconds. Talk to us about that.
The old regime has some challenges, because there is difficulty in, you have complaints about loss of warrants, you have delay in getting the warrants themselves, you also have the problem of warrants getting stale. So these are challenges, there are a lot of obstacles. The e-platform is to eliminate these obstacles. And of course, I want to tell you confidently, the e-platform will create a smooth transition for all investors, and there will be a better administration and management of the dividend. And then, of course, eventually that will create confidence in the system.
Okay, we're going to keep an eye on Lagos. Of course, we're in Lagos. You're the one coming down to Lagos, so we're the one hosting you next week, the SEC, that is. You're coming to the home of finance. Thank you very much for being part of the program. Abdul Zubair, Director of External Relations at the Securities and Exchange Commission. And that's about all for the program today. We thank you very much for watching. We're back next week. I am Bosin Namafa. You do have a great weekend.